Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? My name's Bruce Outridge. I am the host of the Lead Pedal Podcast, and I will be your co-host for today. And we have Jim Park here. How are we doing this morning, Jim?
I'm just doing super, Bruce. I'm going to help you co-host this morning. What do you think?
Good. I hope it works. I hope it works. We will have a good time. We have got a lot of great stuff coming up. Thanks, everybody, for being on the show with us today and spending your Saturday with us. We know it's a great day outside, but if you have to go out somewhere, you know what? We're on Facebook. You can take us with you, so there's no reason to miss any of the content. It will always play there for you. So, hey, Jim, tell us what you're doing. What's going on with you? What do you tell us what you're doing nowadays?
Well, still writing for the truckinginfo.com magazine. Slowing down a little bit over at Today's Trucking, but still there. And we've just launched a podcast this year. Actually, something new for me. Actually, I was doing podcasts back in like 2007 when they weren't cool.
I remember.
As that old country song goes.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a challenge. So we do, 6 podcasts a quarter, and that keeps me hopping. Plus, all the usual editorial stuff. But what's missing, this year, of course, because of the virus, is the travel. As of February this year, I was like, I didn't even want to see an airplane fly overhead. I was just so tired of travel. My God. And then all of a sudden it stopped. Couldn't travel anywhere, couldn't go anywhere. And now I'm even looking forward to a trip to Las Vegas, if you can imagine. If you've ever been in Las Vegas, you'll get that joke.
Yeah, we're all looking for a trip.
It's good, really. No complaints.
Great. Well, listen, I'm going to just take us through some housekeeping rules, not rules, because you're in your own home. You can do whatever you want. But just thought I would give us an outline. So here's how the day is going to go. It's going to be live most of the day from now until around 2:30 or so like that. But in between, we will be taking some breaks. So basically, we have from 8:30 till around 9:30. Jim and I are going to share some information and stuff with you. Around 10 o'clock, we're going to come back. We're going to have our top 12 that we're going to do. And then we're going to do that from 10 till about 12. We have some stuff there. We're going to take a little bit of break, and then we're going to come back at 1, and we're going to finish off with some messages and give you a total for the day. So how can you stay involved? Okay, because we're not used to doing a virtual convoy. And if you are in the Paris Fairgrounds right now and you're sitting in front of the fence, please back out of the driveway, go right, and go down to the Tim Hortons, and you can turn this into a watch party if you want, because we are not going to be in Paris today like we normally are. But you can still be involved. First of all, on the truckconvoy.ca website, you can still donate. If you want to donate, go ahead and do so. We also have some cool T-shirts, which here, let me put up a picture of the T-shirts for you here. This is great. You can go and you can purchase T-shirts while supplies last. So they've got certain amount of certain sizes. You can go to truckconvoy.ca. You can buy the T-shirt, and you'll be all ready to go with that. So let me get that out of your way. All right. And if you don't have any money to donate, don't feel you can't be a part of this. We understand it's a pandemic. We understand that things are a little tight for everybody right now. So we appreciate you being on. So if you can't donate or you can't buy something, you can still help us very much. One of the things that the way Facebook works, the more comments that you have, the more likes you have, the more people you watching, the more this is shared. So if you want to comment, we've got a bunch of people commenting right now. Thank you so much. If you want to share this, if you can start a watch party, I don't have any friends, but if you have friends, you can start a watch party and actually have your friends watch with you. So there's lots of ways. Even during the breaks, we're going to have content out for you. We'll have videos from prior years or what have you. So feel free to keep engaged, keep with us, share with your friends, let them know what this is all about, because this has been a really, really great day. We're sad that we can't get together physically. We know that's unfortunate, but we have a strong community of athletes, drivers, volunteers, and organizers, sponsors, and we have a passion. Have your friends watch with you. So there's lots of ways. I don't know what happened there. Sorry.
That was my end. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. I was hearing myself. You do not want to hear me twice. No.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So our lives, we make a lot of, we help over 26,000 Special Olympic athletes through this program. So please stay engaged with us. Stay all year. We're celebrating the athletes, but we also want to make sure that everybody is celebrated. So the tagline, "Thank a Trucker," you've probably seen that around. It's been used a lot, especially since the pandemic. Truck drivers are an essential service, as most people know, and they've been affected greatly by COVID-19. So the Special Olympics would like to thank all of their community partners for what they do, the truck drivers, the volunteers for being involved, all of that. So we've got some great stuff coming on, and I'm just going to give a shout out. So as you know, Jim and I probably aren't the best multitaskers. My wife tells me that all the time. So I'm going to make a point of trying to keep an eye on the comments. I think Jim is too. If we've missed you, we're sorry. If you see Jim fall off his chair, then let me know in the comments. I'll try and get that on video. So I've got a question for you, Jim. Are you wearing your fuzzy slippers? Because we all know that when you do virtual stuff, nobody's actually dressed all the way down. Do you have your fuzzy slippers on today?
I don't even have any pants on.
Okay, don't stand up. Don't stand up.
Visual on that. No,
we do not want to see that. We do not want to see that.
Good old Nike running shoes on here.
Well, I do. See, I'm going to try and do this. This might be the part where I fall out of the chair. Okay, so I've got my fuzzy slippers on. You probably can't see that.
Hey, what a guy!
So because my wife is French from Quebec, they make cool slippers which are kind of like socks. So those are mine. So they're not fuzzy, like no pink stuff. Anyway,
funny with the ears on it and everything. No.
Yeah, let's get away from this, Jim. I would love to know what your first experience was with the Convoy. You've been doing this. You're a veteran Special Olympics truck convoy guy. Tell us what that first year was like for you when you got involved.
I was blown away, frankly. I don't remember if I was involved on the first year or not, or the second when I got involved. I'm getting old, but seeing all this community come together, the truckers, the special athletes, the police, the enforcement people, it's not a crowd you normally see in the same room. And everybody was hugging and happy and cheering for one another and clapping. And I mean, the spirit of cooperation, I guess, collaboration, and everybody pitching in for a good cause literally blew me away. It's not something you run across every day in real life or in this industry. So when it happened in our own backyard, I really, really felt proud of the work that everybody was doing, and the difference that it eventually turned out to make. We didn't know back then in 2005, 2006, what a success this was going to be. Yeah. So it was kind of nice to be in there on the ground floor, as they say.
Yeah, this year, I got involved about 5 years ago, and I'll just play a video here as we go along, just to let you guys know what we do. But my first year was I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't actually have a video. So this is the video from last year. Yeah. But, I thought that, I was just going there to help out, just going to go see. And then you get sucked into this and you just go, man, you're helping so many people. When you see the athletes' smiles and everything, it makes a great time for everybody. So I've been involved for the last 5 years, and I keep getting in a little further and further and further every year. And I've got to say, we've got some stuff here, like this mask. Okay, you won't get that any other year. But
hopefully a collector's item.
Yeah. I'm keeping it as a collector's item. Hopefully we won't have to use it after this year. So we've got this is our first virtual convoy. What do you think, Jim? So far, so good?
Well, sure. I'm watching it on Facebook out of the corner of my eye here, and it's happening. It's live. Whatever happens is good. This is great. I do wish we're out there with all the crowd at Paris. Hopefully there's not a crowd there right now, but normally there is. I can recall those 6:30, 7:30 in the morning gathering around, stumbling in with a cup of coffee and a cup of Tim Hortons coffee, of course, because they were always there, and gallons of this stuff, and we always managed to go through it all. But I'm not a big morning fan, but I always like getting up early on convoy morning.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I just put up a comment there from Jim Murray. He said, thanks to our truckers, Turn and Burn 2020, feel the love. Thank you so much, Jim. Jim's been an amazing volunteer for this as well. So last year we hit $1 million. Let me see if I can find that flag waving moment for everybody here. Look at that. It's $1 million. They had a lot of fun. I remember them trying to drag this sign out while they were doing it. So what are we going to do this year? That's the question that we all have. What do you think, Jim? We think we're going to hit some big totals like that this year?
I kind of think not. But, it's not the dollars, it's the spirit, I think. Yeah. The people who've contributed and these folks who went out and actually got themselves onto the top 12 list, I'm seeing some pretty nice dollar figures there. And for an off year when there actually was no convoy, no trucks driving around, these people still went out and collected pledges and sponsorships. So I think that's just amazing. And I don't think we're going to top $33,000 this year, but we're certainly going to make a dent.
Right. What's the weirdest thing that you've seen? I'm going to put up the weirdest thing that I've seen over the years in a convoy. This isn't the weirdest, but I think you'll like it. Do you remember this, Jim?
Being blackmailed now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I'm doing it. It's all about that one. But this one I really love. We all know Mike Kretsch, right? So you got to love Mike. Now, he raised $1,600 for doing this, and I got to give him credit just for doing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's part of the spirit, right?
Yeah.
Make a fool of yourself, do something silly. If somebody will pay you some money to do that, then all the power to them. And I admire the spirit, believe me.
Yeah, no, we've seen some amazing things over the years. This is the 16th annual convoy. I think that's amazing. Like I said, I've only been involved in probably the last 5 years or so, but it's really good. Now, have you ever been down to the Peel convoy? Have you ever been down to the one down in Mississauga there?
I have not. No, I was always busy in Paris that weekend. The only other convoy I've actually participated in was down in Nova Scotia. I was down there one year for that. And same thing down there to our friends in Nova Scotia. Hi, everybody down there. If you're watching here, you do a great job. And, for the cause, love you. And as competitors, convoy to convoy, we're still going to smoke you, but we sure appreciate everything you do for the cause for Special Olympics.
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out note here to Jacqueline Lisa, who says, it was strange waking up in my own bed on convoy morning. Definitely missed the morning coffee, donuts, muffins, and I'm going to add the smell of diesel smoke as well. So that's great. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for that comment. My first year was at the Peel convoy, and I didn't realize it, but this was the first time that I'd gone down. This is a video that they sent us from one of those convoys, my first one. So the note from the Peel convoy was from Don Dunphy, who used to participate in the Paris and Peel convoy, wanted to expand, labeled it. He started the Peel one, and he said it was the first of its kind in the area, partnered with the Peel Regional Police, but also supported other locals such as Halton, GTA, OPP, and more to come for the athletes. The Peel Regional Police for their support. Thank you very much for that. In the convoy, they contributed $4,000 to the virtual truck convoy, which is amazing. And they would like to put out a big thank you to all of the people that have helped out in that convoy, because it's been pretty amazing. So this is the Peel one. Thank you very much for sending that along. So now I want to just who have you? I know you've been interviewing and stuff like that. Who would you say is inspirational or instrumental at the convoys that you've seen over the years? I know I've seen some talked to some pretty big people. Who have you seen come out that's kind of really, they normally wouldn't come out to that kind of an event?
Well, I think if memory serves, probably Dan Einwechter was the biggest VIP I've seen over there.
I was going to say that. I got Dan right here for you too. So it's I had a nice chat with him. Go ahead and tell us your experience with Dan.
Well, typically on a convoy day, I don't have much time for chit chat and gripping and grinning. I'm running around taking orders from Tammy and trying to corral somebody. So I never got much of a chance to talk with Dan, but I know he always, supports several trucks from the fleet. And last year was, of course, no exception. But it's nice to see, the owners of the companies out there supporting the drivers in this endeavor. So, hats off to Dan. I know there were lots of others getting old, memory fading, et cetera, over the years. I know the people at Sharp were big for a while. Transport and Service were really big, and everybody was out, for those events. Smaller companies, but they all still came out. Never did see, any like rock and roll stars like Mick Jagger. We haven't had him out yet, but I think if we keep growing this thing, there's a pretty good chance he'd show up and play a song or two for us.
Yeah, I had Dan. I spoke with Dan, and I'm not sure if I have the video here. It's probably I had the pleasure of speaking with Vernon Erb, who passed away earlier this year. So I had the pleasure of speaking with him last year. Mike Million has been one out. There's been some that, they don't come out all the time, but they are always supporting in the background, and it's nice to see them. I remember with Dan, he was saying, this is really the first time I came out, his drivers kind of said, "You got to get out there, Dan," and he was able to make it out there. So it was really good that way. And same with Vernon, he had never been out, but his whole fleet had been out most of the time, and so
pretty much, yeah,
yeah. So it was really good there. One thing I want to say is we always have a ton of fun on a Friday night and some of that. And some of the people that make that fun are the entertainers. And some of the entertainers that we have here is people like our DJ friend, Dan. So he's always playing some cool tunes for us there. Is always fun to talk with. And he has a family. Batman comes out. Who doesn't love Batman?
And Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah. And then, of course, we've got Eric Traplin, who's an amazing singer and comes out. And I've never seen anybody that could be a better babysitter than Eric, and he's probably not going to appreciate that I said that. But he gets all the kids going and stuff. Like it's really great to see how they get that going. So congratulations to all of them for making. And if I've missed anybody, I know we've got a car show. That usually goes on as well, and old trucks, and I'm probably missing somebody, but I apologize for that. But everybody makes it. Challenger brings their bus. You're mentioning Smokey and the Bandit, which is my favorite movie of all time, by the way.
Pretty much, yeah. It's right up there on my list.
Yeah. So let's see. We've got some. What are we going to play? First of all, we've got some interviews we got to play. I didn't have a lot of footage of the athletes, but I did. I have a television show in Burlington, Ontario here called Inspiring Youth, and I featured the athletes many times on here. And I think it's good to show people what that money's going for. When you donate to the Truck Convoy for Special Olympics, here's some of the things you're helping. This is an episode we did on the bocce ball program here in Burlington. And you might... This is some of the stuff we did, so hopefully you can hear it. Maybe I need to... We're just listing off a whole bunch of stuff that you do. How long have you been involved with Special Olympics?
8 years.
8 years, right? And is this event... Tell us what bocce ball is. I don't know.
It's a fun sport for the kids to come out and special needs come out and have some fun.
Yeah.
Some that can't run, you know what I mean? So it's just like a little ball that they throw around, walk up and down, play against each other and get some points, and the smiles and the happiness out of them is a very good fun.
Yeah, and what got you involved with Special Olympics? What made you get...
Kate Hawkins was my son's teacher at McMillan Public School.
Right.
And so she recruited me to come out. And I've been doing it since 2010. And I'm still going.
Yeah. The big passion. Now, this seems to be a thing. Half of them have left. When I first arrived, half of them were just leaving. So how many people come out to these matches?
I have 42 athletes lined up.
42 athletes plus family and friends that come to see. So it's quick. And does this happen every week?
Every Tuesday from 6:30 to 8:30.
Okay, and so what's the point of the game? It's like bowling to me. I'm not a sports athlete.
It's almost like lawn bowling, but it's with the harder balls and a little white Colina ball. So it's not like five-pin bowling where they can whip it down and hit the pins. You have to try to get the closest to the points for the white ball, then they get points and stuff. So if you touch the ball, it's 2 points automatically.
Okay, so there's a white ball that's placed. Who places that? Is that the coach or
No,
yourself?
the athlete who tosses it, and you have to hit it over the line.
All right, so we are here with Laura at the Special Olympics. How are you doing today, Laura?
Good, I'm doing very well.
Good. Are you a bocce ball superstar?
I am. Very fun to do it.
How long have you been doing bocce ball?
I've been doing it for the summer. I've been doing it.
Yeah. Do you do other sports other than bocce ball?
I do Special Olympics gymnastics and bowling.
Oh, so are you good because of the bowling? Because this looks pretty similar to bowling.
Yeah, it's similar to bowling because it's on gravel now, and it's really easy to do it.
Wow. Have you won medals for your bowling?
I have. I've won the Blood Sister Memorial Award.
Oh, wow.
It's been amazing doing that. It's amazing. Really good team about it.
Yeah. How long have you been involved with Special Olympics and doing the gymnastics and the bowling? And
I've been doing it for a couple years. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
I've done some good routines, doing good gymnastics. Been very well doing gymnastics and the Special Olympics. It's been amazing.
Yeah. All right, so give me a tip. We won't let them listen, but what's a bocce ball tip that's going to help somebody with don't just help me.
Well, basically it's just
That's it. Just a straight arm, right? You think I can do it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I tried the golf earlier. I'm not sure it's gonna work. So how many? So that's just some of. I'll show you some more later that you bring. Anyway, have you ever played bocce ball, Jim?
I tried once. I understood the game, but didn't succeed at it.
No, I don't know if you guys saw while I was putting up that. I was putting up some comments there. One from Sean that Walter Gretzky was out one year. I didn't realize
Yes,
that.
I remember Walter. Yeah,
and that
celebrity,
and that Vernon Erb actually slept in his truck that night at the Convoy. That's dedication right there.
It is. Indeed it is.
All right, so we've got some stuff, but I think we need to hear. Normally, if you can find her, she's running around the Convoy like crazy. Tammy's probably going, I feel like I'm not doing anything this morning. I am sure she's used to going 100 miles an hour, right? So let's play a little interview. I got a chance to talk with her last week, so let's play a little interview from Tammy Blackwell. Good. So we're here on a secret mission. Nobody knows, so we can't tell them. Everybody, shh. You guys be quiet back there. You can give it away. We're here in Paris, where we normally have the Convoy, but it's gone virtual this year. What are we doing? Give us the overview of what we're doing here today without giving away any details.
Well, Bruce, as you know, Convoy is a celebration of the trucking industry and the Special Olympics organization, and it's our reunion every year.
Right.
This year looks very different. We understand that. It's very different for our athletes, but equally so for our drivers.
Right.
And we knew that we had, for safety and health reasons, to protect both the drivers and the athletes, do the right thing and cancel the event.
Yeah.
However, as it got closer, calls from drivers, committee members, said, can we do something?
Yeah.
So we started a fundraising effort.
Yeah.
And we thought, maybe we could do a snapshot Convoy. So that's what we're going to do today.
Yeah, so we're doing now, drivers, even though it's virtual this year, drivers can still donate and support the Convoy in any way that they normally see fit.
Absolutely, and they are. Bruce, we are up to $10,000.
Wow.
Right now.
Yeah.
With truck driver donations, sponsor donations, and it's growing.
Yeah.
They can register, and the beauty of it, I'm giving this away, but for every driver that registers, he gets a shirt, tax donation.
Yeah.
More importantly, he gets to know that there's an athlete that's receiving a shirt as well.
Yeah.
And that's also our reach today.
Right.
We want those athletes to know that we didn't forget them.
Yeah, yeah.
The second point, and equally important, is this is the time to thank a trucker.
Yeah.
Now more than ever, we're grateful for those truck drivers who have got us through this pandemic.
Right,
hauling essential goods. And so this is our celebration of them also.
Yeah, well, it's going to be great. I'm hosting the virtual event with a number of other people, so it's going to be amazing to do that. So we are planning on still kind of doing it the same format that the normal convoy would be in, correct?
We're still going to have a top 12.
Yeah.
We're going to have some surprises on there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know about them,
Yeah.
but we want those athletes to... I've already talked to a group that are going to do a watch party
Oh, nice.
of athletes.
Nice, yes.
They have some surprises for the drivers also.
Oh, great.
And our drivers have some surprises today, and there's a big one at the very end.
Now, there's you started a new group, because you didn't have that before, a new Facebook group, kind of to host this virtual thing and get it going. So what, people can just go there and sign up for free, like there's no money or anything?
Absolutely. Just ask for an invite, and we will bring you in.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an athlete or a driver. You might just want to watch it or watch it later. That was also our way to stay in touch with drivers.
Right.
Likewise, there's athletes on the site, so it's fun.
Yeah, and that's where we're going to be hosting the event. The live and the whole day event will be hosted on your Facebook page.
Truck Convoy Facebook group.
Great. And when they go to your website, will they get information on how to donate and what links to go to and all that kind of stuff?
You can go in and you can donate in general.
Yeah.
You can go in and search for a driver. You just hit search, Tammy Blackwell, and then donate to that particular driver.
Right.
Or if you want to sponsor, you can sponsor as well.
Okay.
There is a new dedication going up today for a driver, so you may want to do a sponsorship on that.
So we hit $1 million last year. We're at $10,000 this year. Do you have a goal for this year, even though it's a virtual event? Are you trying to reach like 20,000 or 25,000?
20 is the number, Bruce.
20 is the number, okay.
You know, we picked 20, thinking we were being very hopeful.
Yep.
But as I see it hit halfway mark, I'm thinking these guys are going to do it again. They're going to surprise us. They're going to beat the number.
Yeah.
And I'm always the one who's the most surprised, but I shouldn't be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Not only thank our drivers for what they do every day, but thank them for all the support. These guys come out every year. I see the same faces and the same companies coming out to really support, and that's really important for
there's so much dedication, and we've got top driver right now at 1,044, X-Skyline's at 973. These are real numbers. These are like real convoy numbers.
Right,
so, and they'll beat that still. We hope more drivers come on.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's in their hearts. This is what they do. You know, and they know the athletes don't have fundraising programs currently, so we may be part of the only fundraising they get.
Can I be a virtual driver? If I draw a picture of a truck, can I enter it in the convoy?
Listen, I heard that there's a pink furry truck named Convoy Roy registered. So awesome. I'm sure you could.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So we're going to encourage everybody to go. Thank you so much for what you do, Tammy. For you and your team, they do so much. It's really good. And so truckconvoy.ca is where we can go and get everything.
Absolutely. But listen, Bruce, we want to thank you too, because most people don't know this. But the driver shirts this year and for the last 3-4 years have been designed by you.
Yeah, we had to turn it virtual.
And this year was a challenge. And I don't know if the drivers have even seen it yet, but the shirt actually has a mouse connected to that truck.
We had to move it into
our virtual. So, you know, that's fun, and our athletes love those shirts too. Good. So I want to thank you for that.
Yeah, and the athletes are keeping up okay in this pandemic. Are they still doing their sports? What's their mindset like?
They have not been. September 1 was the date that it was moved back to. I don't know if it's been moved again, but they have to file a plan for play.
Okay.
And it's tough. I mean, some sports maybe not as difficult. Swimming, for example, can't use the change rooms, can't use the washrooms, have to go 2 lanes out. Yeah. Each sport is being treated separately, and most are not back.
Oh, okay. So this is really important just to keep their spirits up, if nothing else, right?
Yeah, we understand it's tough times for them, and we're hoping some of the things that they see today will cheer them up a bit. Yeah. And they'll know their drivers didn't forget them.
Good. Well, let's get them going, and thanks very much for all.
Let's do it.
There you go. That's a great interview with Tammy. Tammy, thank you so much for all you do. I'm sure I am not putting words in anybody's mouth when I say that, and I know that we all appreciate the amount of work. And for those who may not see the amount of work that Tammy does from the next day after the convoy for the whole year, you know, if you've ever been in calls and on phones and she does a ton of work for everybody. So thank you so much for that. Jim, anything you want to add, my friend?
Well, like Tammy said, the drivers always deliver, and the dollar values that we see this year may not be what we've seen in the past years, but still probably a number that most of us aren't going to expect at the end of the day. And that's just the way it works here at the Paris Convoy.
Yeah, I that interview that I just did with Tammy, we did that actually about a week ago, and it was you're going to see more footage from that shoot come out over the time of the day, but to try and plan that, to get things going is just a lot of work. And I just thought maybe if it's okay, we'll just play I did a couple interviews with truck drivers about what it means to be out there doing that. And I'd like to play, I've got a couple. I'm going to play one for you here right now, and then we'll get into another one here. Kind of a convoy. We're not even sure what we call this anymore, right? Is it still a convoy this year?
It's still a convoy. We're all here.
You guys have been doing this. How long have you guys been involved with the convoy? Leonard, we'll start with you. Could I know I've seen you 12 years?
Oh, 15 years.
15 years?
16.
16. You can't get away from this. You just
Nope.
keep doing it every year, right?
Gotta love it.
Yeah. So have you guys been raising money and donating and doing all those kind of things still? Yeah.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Still trying to hit the $1 million mark for this year alone? No, that's not going to work.
Well, that's a little out of my reach.
Yeah.
I'm
Sure
going to do
it
my
is.
best.
We're trying to keep raising the money that we do every year.
Yeah. So does it feel different this year with no convoy? What's it? I mean, you guys are normally doing like fundraising and stuff like that throughout the whole
it's
year,
very
right?
different for me because I'm more of a dinosaur than these guys.
More of a dinosaur.
So I'm not
even touching that.
comfortable with social media, and that's become our new platform.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm making some adjustments here. And
Yeah.
I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, it's a different world, right? Do you guys have favorite athletes? Do you follow any of your athletes? I know you all kind of probably carry them in the truck every year. Do you have certain ones that kind of always go with you?
I like to follow them all.
Yeah, and see what they're doing, see what they're up
We're
to.
watching all of them.
Yeah, and they're watching you.
Well, yeah, they enjoy us.
Yeah,
So we enjoy them being out here with their smiles and whatnot, and enjoying us taking them for the rides that they get to go with.
Yeah. Let me from a truck driver standpoint, because there's a lot of drivers that get asked to do a lot of these kind of events, whether it's in the Special Olympics or outside another charity. What makes you keep going? What makes you come back 16 years, 12 years in a row? Like, what is it a personal connection where there's someone in the family that's
It's just
part
the
of that? Or?
satisfaction of making the athletes happy.
Yeah.
It's always
It's the smiles on their faces and the joy that we see when we get together and know that we're doing something that helps them in the long run.
Right. Yeah, I know that was it for me too when I first got. But you don't realize it till you actually got to come to a live event and see people, and you see the smiles and how much of a difference it makes. It's a real game changer, right?
And you have to let it pull at your heart.
Yeah, and then
you go home with a tired heart and an empty wallet, but it's a good day.
Yeah. And I find Tammy calling you during the year helps too, because she's kind of getting us going. All right, so I'll just get you guys introduced. Leonard, I know you're so tell us what you do, kind of like where you go and what your job
I'm
is.
basically a city driver.
City driver,
Yeah,
okay.
I go up to North Bay and
Okay.
I drive around the city.
Right, City of North Bay. That's what I liked it. Your name?
I'm a local driver, city driver.
Okay.
All right, so it's kind of a small radius, but I enjoy being home with my wife as much as I can.
Who do you run for?
Transport and service.
Transport and service. Okay. Yourself?
Contrans, and usually I'm running Elkhart, Indiana, and up north throughout Michigan.
Right.
Montreal. This year, unfortunately, I've been on the light duty list, so I've been doing a lot of local work.
Oh, okay.
So, but doesn't break my timing to get back out here every year.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I think all of yours, I know Challenger and Contrans, I'm not sure about Trans, you've all been kind of up in the upper levels of doing this as well, right? You guys have all been kind of like the top 12s or whatever it was. Is that a special feeling being in like a top 12 or an award situation for the Convoy?
It's a great feeling being out there.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I keep doing it.
Yeah. What's the challenge to be better the next year? If you've already been in the top 12, how do you become better? Is it just more fundraising, or is it
friendly competition between drivers?
Yeah.
And of course, the outcome is such a good cause anyway.
Yeah.
So we can't lose.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Throughout the years of my fundraising, I have found that more and more of the other drivers are fundraising more and more.
Yeah.
Getting more.
Yeah.
They've seen my results. So I love it.
You can't let off the pedal now. It's like being the front of a convoy. You can't let off the pedal. You mess up the whole thing.
Can't let off the pedal, but at the same time, throughout the years, different sponsors.
Yeah.
I'm getting different amounts and whatnot.
Yeah.
This year's a big difference. You're not getting the sponsors like we used to.
Right.
But hey, at least there are ones that are helping.
Yeah.
Putting out the money.
Perfect. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for all you do, and thanks for being here again today. And even if we're having a mini one, we'll take it, right? Because it's all about trucks, athletes, and us, and
Great.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hey, Jim, have you ever been in a convoy, Jim? I've never actually driven in a formalized convoy. Have you ever been in a convoy, whether it's here or one of the other organizations we offer?
Yeah, we've Joanne Ritchie and I participate pretty directly in the Convoy for the Cure, Trucking for the Cure convoy. Usually happens a bit later in the year up in Woodstock, and that's the one that we get all dressed up in our crazy pink costumes and same idea. Whatever it takes to sort of be foolish, make some money, and draw attention to these events. So yeah, Joanne and I have been we've done 4 or 5 of them now, I think. Of course, we would have been back this year, but there is going to be no convoy over in Woodstock, so we'll sit this one out. But just being there, as all these drivers can attest, it makes you feel darn good at the end of the day when you've done your part, gone out, raised the contributions, raised the money, and you don't do it for personal gain. It's something you can give away, something you can feel proud of, and at the end of the day, being in that convoy with the balloons and the horns and everything else going on, it feels pretty darn good.
Yeah, I've it's funny because I'm one of those people that you see at all of the shows, you see at all the convoys, and I've never actually been in any. When I was driving, and I drove for 25 years, when I was driving, I was always driving. Like I was out actually delivering and making money. And they didn't have a lot of those convoys going on at the time when I was driving either, so that it's not like there was a lot to go to. But even the shows, I didn't get a chance to go to the shows as a driver. I would go as an attendee or something like that. And now I'm at all of them, but I don't have a truck. So I'm kind of stuck in both ways. I might have to get out to one. Tell us how long were you driving, Jim? You've been driving for a long time.
I started in 1978. First job I had was on straight trucks. Had my D license, graduated up to, believe it or not, once I had my A, I think I was working for Lumsden Brothers in Burlington at the time, a grocery distribution outfit. I was there 2.5 years, I guess, and the last year of that stint was as a Class A driver. I got my license when I worked there. One of those 8-day wonders, I have to confess. I'd have all my hours in by Thursday, 44 hours slugging groceries. And I asked the boss, I said, would you mind if I went out and, rode with the tractor trailer guys, learn how to do it? And he said, sure. So I don't know, maybe 8-10 Fridays. I had enough miles and hours under my belt, plus some great advice from the drivers. Went and took my test and boom, had my Class A. And then why I did it, I don't know, but I'm glad I did. Graded over to the liquid cargo. So I was pulling tanks with maybe 1.5 years experience. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, for most of that time, I stopped driving in 98, hung it up and started doing the magazine work. But 20 years, give or take 2 million miles, mostly safe miles I had, mostly. A couple of fender benders along the way. Certainly not a stellar record, but, what a great job. I was glad to get out of it at the end. I think I'd done enough. But in the early years, I just couldn't wait to get the next trip, see where I'm going, go place, someplace new, meet some new people. It was always a challenge and a lot more love than to go home and moan about at the end of the day.
Yeah. Now there's a couple drivers that I talked to last Saturday, and I'm going to play their video in a minute. But people don't realize you say truck drivers, and a lot of us assume that all truck drivers do the same thing. And as Jim just mentioned, and myself, depending on the cargo, depending on the part of the industry that you're in, it can be really a challenge. And there's two guys that I talked to last week who drive the tow trucks. Now, tow trucks are super important for anybody that's broken down. If you've ever broken down the side of the road, they can really save your butt. But at the same time, in a convoy, and I've seen in convoys where someone couldn't get their truck started or something, and I asked them what it was like and if they ever had to tow anybody out of a convoy. So let me play this for you here. All right, so I'm here with Sean, right? Sean Baker Towing.
That's right.
Right, and
Jordan,
and you're Ken's towing.
Yes, sir.
It's not Jordan's towing yet. Later. So I always see you guys at the convoys. Do you guys just are you hired just to make sure the trucks keep rolling, or are you actually part of the convoys?
First and foremost, we're part of the convoy.
Part of the convoys.
But out of good nature, if there's one that has a hiccup, then we're here to kind of help it along and make sure everything runs smoothly as it should.
Yeah. There's one year I saw someone having to be a boost. Have you ever had to tow anybody out of a convoy? We all want to know that.
No, 100%. Everybody's been able to get the wheels turning and make it a good.
Oh, good. So how long have you guys been part of the convoy? Nice shirts, by the way. I designed those shirts. That's why they're really nice shirts. So how long have you guys been part of the truck convoy for Special Olympics?
I think this is my 6th year.
6th year? Okay.
And this is my second year, my back-to-back year. And my hearing about the convoy and growing, we had to come and check to see what this was all about. And last year was just amazing, and we wanted to continue participating for this amazing cause.
Yeah. Now I've got it because I know my first year. So tell me what your first year was like when you had the athlete in. What was your experience like? What did you feel when you were doing it?
So with some of this service side, the athletes are not allowed to actually come in the service vehicles, just in case there is an incident. We don't want to wreck the experience for them. However, I'll touch base on my personal experience. When you see the lead 10 trucks start to roll out, the goosebumps really start to hit a nerve with you, and you just get a good sensation, a feel good. This is what we should be a part of, and this is what the industry is about, coming together on special occasions like this for a good cause. So.
How about you? You're 6 years. I've been about 4 or 5 years since I've been involved with this particular group. So.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see all the smiles.
Yeah.
Everybody having fun.
Yeah.
Can we talk to Blair?
So you guys, are you out there fundraising? Do you add extra $100 to every tow job to raise money? Just want to make sure we're not doing anything wrong that way. But
not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. Tow prices just went up, everybody.
You're onto something.
You're onto something. Yeah. Would you like? It's like when you go to one of the big box stores and they say, "Would you an extra $2 for the school or whatever?" You want to do an extra $100 for special? It could work.
You got a new marketing man.
Yeah. Oh, so do you know any of the do you see? You guys have made signs and everything. Did your kids really help you with this? Or
They help me with it.
That's why they look so great. Yeah. So now, will you guys be? Do you guys watch any of the athletes? Do you follow any of the sports that they do, or anything like that? Or
in the last year since I've participated, it's caught my interest.
Yeah.
If you're going to participate in a convoy of this magnitude, I think it's a great opportunity to see what it's actually about.
Right.
What you're rolling for, right? So,
yeah.
And getting community participation from athletes across Ontario, Special Olympics Ontario, what it does, it's inspiring.
Yeah.
And to be a part of it and to continue being a part of it.
Are your companies fairly supportive on this? They don't mind you taking the truck for a Saturday because they could be making a lot of money while you're at a convoy, right? So are they supportive that way, or?
They're very supportive. I'll let Jordan.
Like you don't have a problem, you don't have to beg them to be off for that or anything like that?
Behind this 100%.
Yeah.
Any type, something like this.
Because a lot of companies want to be part of it, but then, you do have to make money, and especially you guys, you're in emergency situations where if something happens, you have to be ready to go or what have you, right?
So we see a lot of our customers taking part in this convoy, and one of the biggest ways we can show our appreciation to the customers participating in the convoy is by participating ourselves and trying to give back to the industry as much as we can. Everybody has time limits of and doing a convoy, even a bobtail conventional truck, it takes time to do that, and if they're willing to put the effort in, then as tow operators, we can appreciate that and to show our support, what they're supporting. We'd like to do the same.
Yeah, no, it's great, and thank you guys for doing this and coming out year after year. You're hooked. I hate to tell you this, but I'm 4 and 5 years, and I know after the first year you're like, okay, we'll do it, and then after that, it's like you're in it now. So anyway, thank you so much for what you guys do. Thanks for supporting the athletes and supporting the convoy in general. We appreciate it.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for having us.
All right, so they're super important whether you're in a convoy or not in a convoy. So that's really good. What's your experience with the athletes, Jim? Have you had any interactions with the athletes over the years? Have you ever had anything like that?
Well, I guess the most direct involvement I have with the athletes is when we play the baseball game at the end of the afternoon. I get the pleasure of umpiring or doing the play-by-play for that, and I enthusiasm. I don't know if I could give that kind of enthusiasm for something, I could really go somewhere in life. So I admire the heck out of them for that. And the other thing that really doesn't impress me, that's not the right word, touches me, I guess. How much this whole event seems to mean to them. I'm sure if it wasn't for the convoy and the work of Special Olympics, that we do with that organization, the money would come from somewhere. But they know what we're doing for them, and they are genuinely grateful. You can see that in their eyes, when the trucks go by and they're clapping and cheering and waving. And there can't be anybody on the fairgrounds who's athletes in this whole thing together. So wonderful group of people, and I haven't had the experience to really work with any of them directly, as I said, which is my loss. But I really loved being around them at these events, and it's inspiring.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even prompt you to say what you just said, but that's the perfect segue.
Hey, the check's in the mail, you told me.
That's the perfect segue into what some of these athletes wanted to show us. Let me show you. And I've had the joy of actually meeting many of them on the floor. So let me share some of the ones I've done here. Good. You did an interview with me last year, so I love that you do an interview with me every year. first of all, before we get into what you're doing, I want to know about this Smarty hat. Where'd you get it?
I got it at the mall.
You got it at the mall.
Right.
So, do you remember the commercial about Smarties where you eat the red ones last?
No. That's a visit time. No.
There's a commercial where you're supposed to eat the red ones last. You don't know about that one?
No.
Okay, so if you were to eat you don't know a bag of Smarties, have you ever eaten Smarties?
I don't know. I had Smarties once. Before I had Smarties, but before, yeah.
Okay, so tell me, what sport are you doing? What sport are you doing for Special Olympics?
I'm going to 5-pin and 10-pin.
Okay, so you do the bowling or bocce ball?
Bowling.
Bowling. All right. Okay, so Kelly, tell me again the sport that you were working on.
5-pin and 10-pin.
Okay, and how many years have you been part of Special Olympics?
2.
2 years you've been part here?
Yeah.
Okay, did you go out in the trucks last year?
Yes.
Which truck did you go out in?
Buddy's truck.
Which is what?
Black one.
Okay, it was a black one. Okay, so did you get to honk the horn?
Yes.
Did you like doing that?
Yeah.
So are you going to ride with him again this year?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, so you're just hoping to ride with the same people?
Yeah.
All right. Did you win your sports? How'd you do in your sports?
Good.
Yeah. Did you win?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're pretty good then.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we will see you around. You're gonna have a good time today, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for talking. I love seeing Kelly. I see Kelly every year. Hi, Kelly. If you're watching, love seeing you every year. And these guys were so much fun last year. Gotta love these guys. Cambridge Tigers, right? What did Cambridge Tigers do?
We play baseball.
Baseball?
Yes.
We're on the same baseball team, all three of us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What other, is it baseball all you do? Because I know that most people play multiple sports.
I play hockey too.
See, I knew it.
I do bowling.
Yeah, bowling.
Same.
You just copy whatever they're doing, right? Is that how it works? Okay. So how long have you guys been involved with the Convoy?
This is my second year.
I've been in the Special Olympics over 20 years now.
Really?
I've been on the Special Olympics for over 5 years now.
Yeah, and do you guys have a favorite driver that you drive with, or do you just get picked by? How do you get picked by a truck?
I'll be picked today. I don't know my driver yet.
You don't know who it is? Do you go by the nicest truck or the nicest driver? Which way is it?
Both.
Oh yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. I'm gonna say what truck have you been? Have you been in a truck before? No, so you don't know. Have you been in a truck before?
Yeah.
Give us a couple of drivers.
My dad's a former truck driver, so he came one day, picked me up from home for a quick ride.
Awesome. You guys having a good time today so far?
Thank you.
Okay, there's got to be a cheer for Cambridge Tigers. You must have a cheer. Okay, what's the cheer? Go.
Go Cambridge Tigers!
That's not the same cheer. Okay, do it again. Okay, ready? Go.
Go Cambridge Tigers!
All right, that's a good one. Oh, I have so much fun with them. I tell you, get carried away. Jim, we're almost ready for a break. I think. Are you ready for a break? Getting close
I'm ready
to a break.
for a break. My legs are crossed here. A morning coffee. You got to get rid of it after
All right. We're just gonna say a big thank you to our sponsors right here. Thank you to all of those. If we've missed anybody come in late, we really appreciate all of what you do. Okay, so we are going to take this one out, and we will be back at 10 o'clock, my friend. Is that how we're doing it?
I think that's how we're doing it. That's the plan, yeah.
We're going to come back at 10 o'clock in the top 12. So go
top
refresh
12
your coffees, get rid of your coffees, whatever it is you want to do. We're going to take this one out, and thank you for everybody being on. We'll see you at 10 o'clock.
You're doing a great job.